Hello, viewers. Welcome to yet another segment of my show. Today's segment is the continuation of my earlier segment, in which I have talked about how to increase your energy levels to increase productivity. Through years and through experience, and by working for so many years, I have learned that I had been doing things in a many wrong ways, and I have tried to channelize and rectify the ways I've been doing things so that I can increase my productivity and achieve my goals faster, sooner, and more efficiently and effectively. So I'm going to share a few more tips which will be helpful for you all to increase your productivity and work towards your goal faster, sooner, and in a more disciplined manner. So, before taking more of your time, let's start going through the list of things that I'm going to share with you today that is definitely going to be helpful to you. Uh, so even going before the details of what I'm going to share with you, I would like to say that um, I try to do at least 70% of what I'm going to mention here today, but I am trying to do at least 95% of the list that I'm going to go through today to make myself more productive and achieve the ambitions I have set for myself in the life. So, I hope this also is going to help you if you employ these habits and tips in your daily lives, in your personal and professional lives. So let's go. Um, to start with, make a schedule, set a table. Clarity is an essential tool. So decide exactly what you want. Noting down your goals and objectives before you begin anything, little or large thing, is going to help. Writing it on paper always helps. Tip number two, plan every day in advance. And planning is thinking on paper. So if you have a set plan for your daily routine, your every minute you spend in planning can save 5 to 10 minutes in execution, and you will be more focused and less confused when you are going to start your tasks. Number 3, you might have heard about the 80-20 rule. Apply that 80-20 rule to everything in your life. You know why? Because 20% of your activities will account for 80% of your results. So always concentrate your efforts on the top 20% of your efforts. Tip number 4, consider the consequences. Always remember that whatever tasks and actions you do comes with a baggage of consequences. The most important tasks and priorities are those that can have the most serious consequences, positive or negative. So work on your life. Focus on these consequences above everything else. Think what happens if and what happens but. So clarify the consequences. Analyze the route you are going to take to reach those consequences to make the consequence positive or negative. Tip number 5, practice creative procrastination. Isn't it like an oxymoron? Creative procrastination? Time is precious, so waste it mindfully. That's how I would like to put it. Since you can do everything, you must learn to purposely put off those tasks, those are of little or trivial value, so that you have more and more time to do things that really count. And that's called creative procrastination. Tip number 6, use the ABCDE method continuously in your life. So, what is the ABCDE method? It's just making a checklist of the tasks before you begin the work. That's going to make you more organized. So, if you take a few moments to organize them by value or by priority, you can make sure of working on your most important activities, uh, which will be on the top of the list, and uh, you will achieve those goals sooner and quicker. So, the listing method actually helps. Tip number 7, focus on key result areas. You know, when you do a task, there are a lot of steps and phases involved that is going to take you either to a right on a right track to reach the result you're looking for, or it's also going to distract or detract you and might also get you lost and get you nowhere with a loss of time and detrimental effects on the consequences that you will face after you have been defocused. So analyze what are the key result areas when you take a task in hand and focus on those uh, key result areas. So identifying those results that you absolutely positively have to do your job well, and you have to work on them all day long. So make sure that the focus is not taken away when you are working on that task to accomplish that particular task that you have taken in your hands. Tip number 8, apply the law of 3. So what is a law of 3? Another important thing to analyze and identify is the top 3 things that you do in your life or you do in your work that account for the 90% of your contribution, and focus on getting them done before anything else. And that's going to save you more time, and that in turn will get you more time for yourself, for your family, and for your personal life. Tip number 9, always prepare thoroughly before you begin. As I keep saying in so many of my previous videos, do your homework. And homework doesn't always mean just that you are giving an interview. Homework is before even you do any smallest task in your life. You have to make sure you have everything you need at hand before you start. So that can include assembling all the papers, all the necessary information, any data, tools, any work material that you need to complete the task, any numbers, any figures you might require so that you can get starting and keep going. So you need to analyze the steps that are necessary in that are involved in getting the task completed. And once you know the steps, you will know the necessary material that is required for getting through that step. So do your homework thoroughly so that you don't get stuck at any step. That is an art of getting unstuck. Tip number 10, take one step at a time. Everybody, almost everybody, is a big picture person. So you work on a larger project to achieve larger goals. But you know what? You can accomplish the biggest and the most complex jobs if you just complete it one step at a time. That is going to ease your life and also uh, uh, keep you on track. Tip number 11, upgrade your key skills. So, this is a very important step, and I have learned this because I'm a person who works with I need a lot of technical know-hows, and things keep changing when you're in the world of research and development. So you have to always make sure to keep upgrading your key skills. The more knowledgeable and skilled you become at your key tasks, the faster you start them and the sooner you get done with them. Another important thing is, if you are skilled at what you're doing, you are also you also gain experience in troubleshooting them, and you can easily get away with, sorry, not get away, you can easily make sure that you are doing it the right way. And when you are not uh, getting the results that you are expecting, you know what the problem is, because you have already uh, have hands on those key skills. So make sure to keep upgrading yourself. And how do you do that? Determine exactly what it is that you are very good at doing or could be very good at, and throw your whole heart into doing those specific things very, very well with a lot of finesse. And that's what makes you an expert in a particular field or in a particular task. Tip number 12, identify your key constraints. So, many people mix up with constraints and weaknesses. These are two very different things. Constraints are the bottlenecks or the choke points, maybe internal or external, that set the speed at which you achieve your most important goals and focus on alleviating them. So, you need to know what those constraints are. So, constraints is something that is not going to let you go ahead on in a certain process until you debottleneck those. Weaknesses are different. Weaknesses is where you try to do that a lot of times, but you know that's not your interest and you just cannot, that's just not for you and you just don't want to go ahead with it. Or there are weaknesses in which you don't know how to handle it really well, and you just want to give up on it, and that's weakness. So constraints and weaknesses are two different things. Do not mix up with them. Constraints are roadblocks, and you know how you and you have to determine how to uh, eliminate those roadblocks going ahead in your project, personal or professional. Tip number 13, a very important tip: put pressure on yourself. Try to drag your limits, try to push your limits. Imagine, just imagine a situation in which you just will have to leave town for a month or just go on a vacation, and you have work. You just work as if you have to get your major task completed before you left. It's like finish your food before it gets bad. That's exactly how it. Put pressure on yourself. Don't try to undermine your limits. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot do something. So just push your limits and try your uh, limits, challenge yourself. Put your own deadlines, put your own target and goal lines, try to work through it. And that's the only way you will get through your goals. Tip number 4, motivate yourself into action. Yes, you should be your own motivator. You have to be your own cheerleader. How do you do it? You make sure to look for good in every situation. You focus on solution rather than the problem and don't come up with excuses. Always be an optimistic and constructive person. Tip number 5. This is a very important tip, and everybody needs to really take it seriously. In today's days, remember, we have been enslaved by technology. And the tip number 15 is, remember, technology is a terrible, terrible master. Take back your time from enslaving technological addictions. Learn to often turn off the devices or and leave them off for a certain time. It's all about your mind. It's a mind game. If you can get hold on those things, nobody's going to stop you from going ahead in life. Tip number 16, my favorite, technology is a wonderful servant. So use your technological tools to comfort yourself with what is most important and to protect yourself from what is the least important or what is very harmful to you. Tip number 17, focus your attention. Focus, focus, focus. Stop the interruptions and distractions that interfere with completing your very important, significant tasks. Do not get distracted. Tip number 18, slice your tasks. So, when I was talking about the bigger pictures, everybody wants to achieve the bigger picture goals. How do you do it? My favorite way of doing it is breaking those large, complicated, intricate tasks into small sized pieces and then just do one small part. Achieve a, I mean, when you are breaking those tasks into small pieces, make sure you set goals in those small pieces, small tasks, and then just do that one small part of the task to get started, reach the goals, and keep doing those other small chunks of the task, reach the goals. And when you have already accomplished the goals of all these small pieces, you have already been closer to finishing the bigger picture goals of that task. This is going to make you more organized, more disciplined, and it's going to keep you very patterned and uh, you can follow this format in uh, a very simple format to reach to many complicated goals. Tip number 19, make sure to generate large chunks of time. So organize your days around large blocks of time so you can concentrate for an extended period on the very important tasks. So you know what task you are going to consider in coming days or coming week, and you will know what task is complicated and is going to take most of your time. So you should know how to plan those large chunks of time so that not other tasks are affected because you are putting all your time in that one important task. Organization is the key to creating large chunks of time. Tip number 20, another one of my favorite, develop a sense of urgency. So make a habit of moving fast on your key tasks. Don't drag your legs. Become known as a person who does things quickly and in a very fine manner. Tip number 21, very important again, single handle every task. Clarity is an important key to single handle any task you are given. So set clear priorities, start immediately on your most important task, and then work without stopping until the job is 100% complete. This is the real key to high performance and maximum personal productivity. Because you know what happens when you uh, don't do any task single handedly, and if you think, oh, this is taking a lot of time and I'll just get back to it tomorrow, it will take you time and effort to get into that zone to finish that task again. So you are investing a lot more time. But once you are on that task, you are in the flow and you can just get it done sooner and faster, a lot within time, and that's going to save you more time the next day when you're going planning to get back to the same task. Instead, you can think about other important tasks, those are lined up. So, audience, I have shared almost everything that has helped me through my experience and through my life uh, to try to achieve my smaller and bigger goals in life. I'm still not perfect. I'm still working on me to become a better person every day in my personal and my professional life. And I hope these tips will also help you to be better in achieving your goals and aims in life. And thank you very much for watching my video and listening to me so patiently and responding to me through comments and personal messages. I really, really appreciate that. And I hope you enjoy watching this video as well. I hope you keep watching my videos, which I'll keep posting for you. And till then, I would like to request you all to please like, share my videos, and please subscribe to my video or my channel if you haven't yet. Thank you very, very much for your support. Remember, your support is my motivation. Thank you and appreciate.